August 8th, 2014, a day that means something different for most people. For many, it's just a regular day they probably don't remember. But for a specific group of people, myself included, it can be a life-changing day. Why is that? Well, on this day, 5 years ago, released a small horror indie title created by one man, Five Nights at Freddy's. Created by Scott Cawthon single-handedly, which holds true for almost the entire series, Five Nights at Freddy's launched on Desura on August 8th, 2014, after a completely failed crowdfunding campaign on KickTrack. The game didn't gain much traction at first, but once the title hit YouTube a few days later, the series was an instant success. It quickly topped Desura download charts and was soon put up on Steam Greenlight, where it would release on August 20th. Derived from complaints about Scott's previous project, Five Nights at Freddy's offered a unique horror experience by placing the player in a single room, with little no protection and movement options. The game's story is small. Just a man trying to survive his new job with help from a coworker on the phone at a Chuck E. Cheese ripoff pizza place. Fans would soon dive deeper into this story, the lore of the universe, holding fans over until more was given to them with each title. Shortly after the release of Five Nights 1 would come the first of many teaser images released on Scott's personal website, Scott Games. This image teased a grand reopening of the N-Universe pizzeria slated for 2015. But another trend would begin here, with the games releasing months before they were supposed to. Five Nights 2 would be teased over the next few months, showing off new character designs and mechanics, all culminating on November 10th, 2014, when Five Nights at Freddy's 2 released on Steam, to the shock of the ever-growing fanbase. The game, at first, came off as a direct sequel to Five Nights 1, all just set in a new location with a mix of old and new animatronic monsters, out for a new protagonist's head, almost literally. Threw many fans for a loop was the return of the coworker on the phone, now dubbed Phone Guy, and voiced by Scott himself, who had been killed off during the climax of the first title. Five Nights 2 was the first true point in the series where Scott threw a wrench into what was seemingly a simple story, something that would be more and more complex as time went on. The series would establish almost right away its now iconic non-linear storytelling. The game was a natural evolution of the first, expanding on the unique horror style by removing your one method of protection and safety, the blast doors. Now all you've got by your side is a dicky flashlight and an empty Freddy head. Even to this day, people consider Five Nights 2 the best the series has to offer, and for good reason too. The game left an impact on the community for sure, but this wild ride wasn't even close to finish. Soon after the release of Five Nights 2 would begin the second wave of teaser images, each throwing a curveball to the community. The third Five Nights game would release on March 2nd, 2015, and my personal bias aside, the game made its round and was and still is praised by fans for wrapping up what seemed to be a trilogy. That's how the community saw it, of course. The end of a semi-niche indie franchise they would forever hold close to their hearts and would live on through fan creations. But if there's one thing this series is known for, it's never going away. For months the series would lay dormant until a new wave of teasers would begin, showing off the original animatronic characters from the first title in nightmarish abomination mode. These teasers would continue until July 23rd, with the release of Five Nights 4, also known only in the release trailer as the final chapter, presented as the final and only ending to this story, where everything we needed would be revealed. Well, that didn't happen, clearly, but for a while that's what we thought. The game is still and is loved by the community, and it was the first time the game tried something new. Shockingly, the game removed the staple camera system and office system. Now you move from place to place in a child's bedroom with nothing but a flashlight by your side. This title would also mark the first time the series got DLC with the Halloween update, mostly held cosmetics and a few new challenge modes. After Five Nights 4 seemingly wrapped everything up for the second time, the future of the series was up in the air for another time, for the second time. For the first anniversary, Scott had uploaded a seemingly harmless and wholesome thank you image to Scott Games. As time would go on, however, this image would go through a set of changes, putting familiar characters in a more cartoony art style. Fans would theorize about what these new designs were for, but none of them truly could have expected the answer. October 30th, 2015 would shock the community. A trailer that showed us Scott's next step for the series. A kid-friendly RPG going by the title of FNAF World, using the same designs from the teaser image. The game at the time of announcement was split, and that still stands today. People love and hate it, all with a valid set of reasons. The game, before its launch, would be delayed for months, finally releasing in January of 2016. Only a few days later, however, even after critical success from the fans and people enjoying and loving the game, Scott felt the title had been rushed and pulled it from Steam. He quickly began working on a fully 3D version of the game, something he promised from the start, and that 3D art style from the trailer was never used in the game except for battles. This version would release only a month later. In a second update, free DLC would come out for the game in May, adding new characters, a new story, and a new area, as well as teasing something to come for the main series with a strange character with voice acting. Very strange. Shocked the community like normal. More and more cryptic teasers would be released on Scott Games after FNAF World. These ones confusing the community. All until were given two simple words. Sister Location. The fifth Five Nights title will release on October 7th, 2016, called Five Nights at Freddy's Sister Location. The title had a heavier focus on both its in-game story and gameplay variety. Each of the six main nights have entirely different gameplay styles. Following up on the past two titles with their DLC, Sister Location got the staple custom night, which not only expanded on gameplay as well as the story. And after what would seem to be a third and final conclusion to Five Nights, the series would once again fall silent for, a while. It was almost a year after Sister Location's release until we heard something next. On December 4th, 2017, Scott released a free-to-play Five Nights-inspired game called Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, which presented itself as just that. After only maybe 5 minutes of playing the game, however, it was revealed to be the sixth title in the series. Returning to the roots of the office and modern gameplay not seen since Five Nights 3, Pizzeria Sam truly and finally wrapped up this crazy story. All of the characters were killed off, and the story was ended. Every loose end was tied up, leaving the series only to go somewhere new. Well, what was next, though? You don't just end a series like this. Of course not. That's what the series is known for. Well, of course, one final hoorah for the series. From the beginning is a Custom Night update for Pizzeria Simulator. Ultimate Custom Night was released just shy of the 4th anniversary on June 27, 2018. Being a non-canon, gameplay-focused Custom Night, UCN took the internet by storm. It's 50-20 mode. Scott Cawthon's bet with YouTuber Dawko for an interview would hold the internet's attention for ages and ages. But in the end, Ultimate Custom Night was a fitting send-off to the series, one final thing to bring the community together for one last time. But of course, that wasn't the end. Far from it, too. Five Nights would get its first home console release in May of 2019 with Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted, which would shed a new light on the universe, showing us what happened after the events of Pizzeria Simulator, as well as, where it's gonna go. The game seemed to be fun. I have not personally played it myself, and the community has their eyes set on more for this title. And there's still more to come. We've got a new series of books to follow up the last trilogy with a short story-esque format, as well as two more games in the works, a mysterious AAA title and the next Scott-developed game, Five Nights at Freddy's Into Madness. And, of course, the movies. The series has come a long way in its 5-year run, building a strong fan base and creating a world to capture the hearts and minds of many. Five Nights will come to an end at some point, as all things of extreme mediocrity and good and bad and all of that will. But really, I think the series is picking back up its old traction from 2014 one more time to make the rounds of the internet and truly show us what it is Scott Cawthon is all about. Thank you all for listening to me ramble on for a while about one of my favorite franchises. And my name has been Dylan. And this has been the first episode of a brand new internet show I'm going to call Bread. I'll see you all in the next one. Whenever that may be, and whatever that may be. Until then.